नमस्ते गुरुजी। जय गुरुजी महाराज। गुरुजी महाराज मल्टीलिंगुअल सेवादार टीम अब सबका स्वागत करती है। आज एक बार फिर हम सब रिमेनिसिंग गुरुजी महाराज पुस्तक रीडिंग सेशन के लिए इकट्ठे हुए हैं। आज तो
जी साथ संगत गुरु जी के और कंप्लीट टीम का एंड इन पर्टिकुलर अंकल का आज का सेशन जो है वो 25 पेजेस का है, बट गुरु की बहुत ब्लेसिंग्स हैं। तो मैं अभी समय ना लेते हुए आंटी को कहूंगा वो रीडिंग करें और जहां आएंगी को बताएं। Anything is required. जय गुरु जी।
जय गुरु जी महाराज। अनंतम शुक्राना मेरे गुरु जी का कि गुरु महाराज ने मुझे ये सेवा बख्शी। एंड थैंक यू सो वेरी मच जसपाल अंकल जी for penning down such beautiful experiences, not only your own but also of so many संगत। सभी वो experiences आपने इस book में रखे हैं that have touched your life and perhaps changed your life, and you felt the urge, I would say, with Maharaj's blessings, that you need to share all these experiences, all these blessings with Maharaj Sangat, especially the new Sangat, so that they begin to understand Maharaj, what Maharaj is all about, what his blessings and grace are all about. So I too will not take much time before I start the reading, but I do wish to thank you immensely. And I wish to thank Suresh uncle and his team for putting all this together, not only giving the opportunity to some Sangat like me, because it's a seva, a small seva, which always benefits us. हर सेवा में महाराज हमारा ही कल्याण करते हैं. So thank you so much, Suresh uncle. And for all the Sangat listening, this is the beautiful book, not very thick, but it is full of Guruji's love and Guruji's guidance for us. It says, Reminiscing Guruji Maharaj. मतलब गुरुजी महाराज की सुंदर यादें ब्रिगेडियर जसपाल अलग अंकल ने इस बुक में हम सब के लिए लिखी हैं. थैंक यू वंस अगेन अंकल. एंड एज अंकल मेंशन, आज जो रीडिंग है इज फ्रॉम पेजेस 37 to 62. The name of the chapter is Guruji's Progressive Revelation. मतलब कैसे धीरे धीरे गुरुजी ने अपने आप को प्रकट किया, हर संगत के दिल में ये भाव डाला और समझाया कि वो क्या है और कैसे समझाया. थ्रू हिज ब्लेसिंग्स विदाउट सेइंग मच. यस, ऑफ कोर्स गुरुजी महाराज बहुत सारे सुंदर शब्द छोड़ के गए हैं, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, जस्ट महाराज की ग्रेस, उनकी नजर, उनका just being in his presence, that is how Guruji slowly enters our hearts, our souls, our lives. He not only transforms our lives, he shows us कि वो क्या हैं. And this is what the chapter is about, Guruji's progressive revelation. So Maharaj, thank you. आपकी मेहर से, आपकी blessing से, I will begin the reading. So Alag uncle has written, in those early days when Guruji distributed prasad with his own hands, we sat inside and consumed the prasad there. But later, as the Sangat started swelling and to avoid dirtying of the carpets, we were instructed to eat prasad outside the mandir. I have seen Guruji participate in Lohri celebrations outside the Empire Estate Mandir on the road. There were not many buildings around the Empire Estate in 1998, and the inside road was not so busy either. We celebrated Lohri outside on the road during those days. On Raksha Bandhan, my auntie tied Rakhi to Guruji. He allowed many others to tie Rakhi to him. Later, we saw some aunties doing Guruji's Aarti. Only few chosen, blessed ones were allowed to do the Aarti. Earlier, Maharaj allowed people to garland him, but as the devotees started bringing more and more flowers, this custom was stopped and people were forbidden from bringing flowers. Maharaj was concerned about the disposal of these flowers. So this offering was stopped. कितने सुंदर शब्दों में अंकल ने बताया है कि कैसे गुरुजी महाराज हर छोटा बड़ा फंक्शन सेलिब्रेट करते थे. बड़े मंदिर में तो कुछ फंक्शंस थे, 5, पहले 4 फिर 5, जो बड़े स्केल पे सेलिब्रेट होते थे. बट व्हाट इज गुरुजी ट्राइंग टू टेल अस? हमें गुरुजी ये समझाते हैं कि अपने जीवन में हर उस खुशी को सेलिब्रेट करो. And every celebration brings joy in our lives. And that's what Guruji said. ऐश करो, कल्याण कितना, खुश रहा करो. So I think the message to us is to celebrate everything. And these auspicious days are meant to be celebrated and to think about Guruji Maharaj. अंकल ने ये भी बताया कि गुरुजी के चरणों में संगत फूल लाते थे, पर धीरे धीरे गुरुजी ने देखा कि फूल इतने ज्यादा बढ़ गए थे. एंड ही रियलाइज्ड कि उनको कहाँ फेंका जाए. जो महाराज के चरणों में फूल आ गए, क्या उनमें एनर्जी, क्या उनमें पावर था, तो क्या उनको ऐसे ही कहीं फेंक दिया जाता? जो गुरु महाराज ने सिखाया था और जो कहते हैं कि आई डू, कि जितने भी फूल या पत्तियां हम महाराज को चाहते हैं, मेरे घर के पास कोई बहता हुआ नहीं है, आपके पास कोई बहता हुआ नहीं हो, गुरुजी करते हो. Otherwise you can be. The message also is he eat too much. Just with him love for my is more. Uncle, anything?
Yeah, I basically wanted to say that once we went to and everybody said no doubt it was very, very liberally the prasad was distributed. तो थोड़े से लोग होते थे, तो we kept on sitting there only and took the prasad there only in the inside Empire State. I remember after some time कोई सेवादार फिर थोड़ा सा कोई गिरा देता था, तो झाड़ू लगा के साफ करके फिर हम वहीं बैठ जाते थे. I think this continued for a couple of months after I first went there in 98. And as more people started coming, then of course, and the new carpets were also, the carpets were changed. So then people used to have prasad outside. Point I wanted to just say that Guruji was so liberal in giving you prasad. I do not know if it was indicative of, his other prasad. I mean, our blessing prasad is also the same way. Perhaps that was synonymous to this prasad.
I agree with you, Uncle. I think to me also, it signifies the abundance Maharaj has given in our lives. उन्होंने हर चीज की abundance दी है. So that prasad was symbolic of the abundance. भरपूर प्यार, भरपूर मेहर हर हमारे जीवन के क्षेत्र में.
जी आंटी.
Should I continue?
Yeah, ji.
Okay. Maharaj took some chosen sangat with him to various places like a devotee's house, to the movies, restaurants, malls or hotels. it was his divine will who accompanied him and who didn't. Here again, I would feel that this is also Guruji's way of showing to live life in a balance. हर प्रकार की खुशियां जो जीवन में हैं उनको एंजॉय करो, बट एट द सेम टाइम गुरुजी साथ लेके जाते थे. इसका क्या मतलब है? जो मैं समझती हूँ कि महाराज को अपने दिल में, अपने जीवन में प्राइम स्थान देके, सबसे ऊंचा स्थान देते हुए, हर खुशियां जो उन्होंने हमारे लिए दी हैं हमें, उन सबको एंजॉय करो. ये अंकल, वुड यू लाइक टू से एनीथिंग?
Ji, absolutely right. In fact, we were also, me and my auntie were fortunate to go with Guruji and now later, that time I did not know it was Vippy uncle's house. It was just next to Qutub Minar. So he took us there for we had a glass of tea there, sat for some time. So like that, he took people to malls, to hotels, and I lived for some time in Noida, and there is a hotel there, Wave, I just forget the name. Guruji visited that hotel and took some people there. And I think he used to bless that hotel because I saw there is an auntie who runs that hotel, and I think they have done very, very well. So Guruji took people to various hotel, malls, etc., perhaps to bless some people there, the shop owners or the hotel owners or the restaurant owners and things like that. Ji.
And uncle, I would like to add, as you said कि गुरुजी महाराज जहाँ ले जाते थे, वो ना केवल उस रेस्टोरेंट या उस होटल, इवन एयरपोर्ट्स, इवन हॉस्पिटल्स, ना केवल उन जगह को ब्लेस करने जाते थे. Guruji also blessed the संगत he took with him, and Guruji would decide कि वहां जाके पैसे कौन खर्चेगा. And over the years I have understood कि चाहे हम पैसे खर्चते हैं या किसी प्रकार की भी सेवा महाराज के लिए करते हैं या महाराज की संगत के लिए करते हैं, इट इज गुरुजी's वे हमारे को ब्लेस करना. हमारे कष्ट काटते हैं, हमारे कर्म काटते हैं. सो कौन पे करेगा वो डिसाइडेड बाय गुरुजी. सो ये सारी अंडरस्टैंडिंग संगत जी उस वक्त नहीं आ गई, ये धीरे धीरे आती है. एंड दैट इज द चैप्टर, जैसे अंकल ने कहा, गुरुजी's प्रोग्रेसिव रेविलेशन, कैसे धीरे धीरे वो हमारे दिलों में ये बातें हमें समझाते हैं. सो आई मूव फॉरवर्ड.
जय गुरु जी.
जी
जय
अंकल
गुरु
जी.
जी. जसपाल अंकल आप वीडियो खोल सकते हैं जब आप इंटरेक्ट करते हैं. यू कैन आल्सो ओपन द वीडियो.
Oh my God, it just okay. I'm sorry. Just good. Right.
So I'll
Is it
continue.
okay? Ji.
Yes, Uncle Ji, I can see you and so can everybody. Once I met a very learned preacher in Ambala who had been preaching Gita ka Sar since the last 60 years. I told him that by then he must be knowing everything about the Bhagavad Gita. He said that he knew only how much God wanted him to know. Therefore, I understood that depending on various factors like devotion, eagerness, sincerity, piousness, etc., God revealed himself accordingly. He gave a darshan of Shiva, Guru Nanak, and other avatars according to his blessings on them. To some, he appeared as an ordinary human being. To a few chosen ones, he revealed a little more. He made some people experience fragrance from various parts of his body. It is only now that when he has left his physical form, we realize who he was. Some were very fortunate to have come close to his human form so that they could get a glimpse of God in his physical form. Some were lucky they could touch Guruji's feet, his hands, legs, head, etc. He said that he looked like a human being because people would not be able to see him with their eyes that would burn if he showed his real self. Those who were lucky to hear these words did not realize the reality. Ji, Uncle Ji.
Yeah, Auntie, this basically, I was posted in Ambala, and my division Panditji one day took me to uh, a place where every morning one Gitanandji, his name was Gitanandji, who I was told for last 60 years was preaching Gita. You know, he used to read Gita. So nobody could meet him, but since Gitanandji's helper was a ex-Fauji, so you know that's how it was tied up for me to meet him. And first thing I asked him, I said, "Now you've been preaching for 60 years, you must be knowing everything of Gita." And he immediately said, "No, I do not know. I know only that much that God wants me to know." So I realized that this is how Guruji did not let us know more than what he wanted us to know.
Ji, Uncle.
And
Ji,
I was very
please
fortunate
continue.
that the first day I went, I did not know that we were not supposed to just touch him. So I, after उनको matha टेकने के बाद, I touched his feet, and I remember that he gave me a look which conveyed to me that perhaps I was not supposed to do that. But then next time again I did, and I kept on doing the same. So I today feel very fortunate. And some aunties and uncles who could touch him, as I've been trying to say, they were very fortunate that they could touch the divine, the God himself. This is what I've mean. Auntie.
Yes, Uncle. Yes. बिल्कुल जितना गुरुजी, how much he revealed of himself, that's my view over time. He firstly it depends on how much the Sangat wants to know. उनके अंदर कितना desire है to know about Guruji. What is their feeling about Guruji और वो उससे क्या जानना चाहते हैं महाराज से. One is that, and the other thing is Guruji's grace. गुरुजी को पता है कि उस संगत की जर्नी कितने युगों से कितने लेट्स से फॉर हाउ मेनी years or how many lives उस संगत की जर्नी गुरुजी से शुरू हो रही चली आ रही है. So depending on that, Maharaj decides about revealing himself. So that's my understanding, because many times not only the new sangat, even some of us, हम जब सत्संग सुनते हैं दूसरों के, so many times we feel how lucky they are, how blessed they are. But महाराज धीरे धीरे ये भी समझाते हैं कि it's not only about this life, it is this भक्ति कब से चली आ रही है और कब महाराज डिसाइड करते हैं कि now I must reveal myself to संगत. Also उस संगत के अंदर क्या डिजायर है, बिकॉज कुछ संगत के दिल में था, दिस महाराज आप बताइए कौन है, you ordinary human being, you know who you are and you feel the desire. और दूसरी संगत का किसी, चाहे गुरु में हो चाहे शिवा में हो, कृष्ण किसी में, अगर उनकी भक्ति इतनी डीप है तो महाराज उनको उसी रूप में दर्शन देते हैं. And that's very high level blessings होती हैं. हर blessing अनंतम शुक्राना महाराज. My journey started in very strange manner. I was in Tamil and was posted for a long time in Jalandhar. In fact, I stayed very close to Jalandhar and resided for 1.5 years. I used to be very inquisitive about this soothsayers and atmas. If I had a little inkling of Guruji being Jalandhar, I would have surely gone to touch his feet. But now we understand that it is not about where we want to go to him. It is when he wants to go to him that truly matters. Sometime in August 1998, was standing outside my house and passed by, stopped and said he had been to Guruji to give hands at wedding card. I asked him who this Guruji was. He gave me a very description of his location and was a very we had got us engaged to be married. Therefore, we were eager to meet and take the blessings of Guruji. I think this was Guruji's call to us. As under normal circumstances, we would not have gone on a small talk. I'm convinced that only those people go to him whom he allows. I saw many people there in dire need of providential help as a last resort. I ended up at Guruji to see the blessings because he had called us all at that time. They were people who lived inside the Empire State Building. Despite a huge gathering every evening, most of the residents, except for the few lightly, Guruji's blessings. They regret it. Why Maharaj was in Delhi? Perhaps one people may have seen him. Thousands of Delhiites flocked from there to bless him, and now they repent why they know that God, spiritual power, the divine power had descended in Delhi. Because it was one power that blessed only those people who came to know that the divinity was in Delhi. Therefore, that evening, my wife and I drove down to Andheriya Moor, and the next Vivo told us we were at the Empire State. I inquiring to the guards there, we came to know that this was in those days, but not too many restrictions. We took our car and parked just opposite the gate. The gate. It was about 7 p.m. So there were about 8 to 10 pairs of chappals outside the gate. So we took off our shoe and went in. There were just about 8 to 10 devotees sitting, and Guru was very majestically sitting on his chair. Luckily, we saw some devotees touching his feet. Understood this the norm. We touched Guruji's feet. He asked us, "Kitthon aaya hai?" I told him that I came from Noida. As I live there, mockingly said, "No idea." I smiled, and next thing Guruji asked me the purpose of my visit. I told him my son was getting married and we had come for that reason. Maharaj told me to bring the pictures of the boy and the girl the next time. I did not even know that Guruji has pictures. There was a very small gathering of 8 to 10 people. We had a glass of tea given by a sevadar. We continued sitting and listening to the divine music. I'll read a little more, Uncle, and then I'll request you. After some time, we were told the langar was served. So we sat across a runner that was laid down. One thali was placed between a group of 4 persons. So we had langar. This had a divine taste. This taste cannot be described, but there was something unique about this langar and its taste. We observed what was done by the others and went back to touch his feet and take his permission to leave. We felt that day we were just about 8 to 10 people only. It is later we realized that there were lakhs of his believers in Punjab and elsewhere, and he had not revealed to them where he was at that point of time. Next day, we took son and the prospective bride's pictures and went to Guruji. Guruji looked at both the pictures, took them in his hand and then returned it to us. We now know that Guruji had blessed them. Also later, Samdhan, our daughter-in-law's mother, accompanied us to visit Guruji, and without our introducing her to Guruji, he said, "Teri kudi da vyah main karaya hai." So we believe that God himself blessed the couple. Yes, ji uncle.
Ji, Aunty, you mentioned about some devotees, sat there and they said, Guruji, aap kaun hai? These I'm living in Seattle, and we have Usha Aunty here.
Ji uncle,
and she tells us this.
Yes.
Ji, so this is what I wanted to say. And you have heard all his thoughts and how he revealed to her. Now, I fully believe that even today, only those blessed ones come to Guruji whom he wants them to come. Even today, only those who are listening whom Guruji wants them to listen. Because I remember in my presence, Jatera uncle, satsang, whom Guruji told to say, das to apna satsang das. And he told that for how many days he had been going, about his son's illness, cancer, that he had a very rare type. And then how through somebody he comes over here and Guru just says that there are and I met this boy many times. In fact, recently I was in India 2 months back, and I met this boy once again. So then this is what convinces me that Guruji, only those who can go to him, whom he blesses. Even when he used to walk through later through Empire State after Pakar outside, and we used to see some of the people from those row houses which are there on left, right, or the route Guruji's Chota Mandir. They would peep from inside, and perhaps they did not have Guruji's blessing to come and take their blessings, his blessing from him. I'm sure today they would be repenting. So this is what I basically wanted to say, that in this particular chapter, Aunty.
जी अंकल, बिल्कुल बिना गुरुजी की मर्सी के और ब्लेसिंग्स के आपने इन पैराग्राफ्स में लिखा है कि कोई भी गुरुजी के पास या गुरुजी के दरबार में नहीं पहुंच सकता, और अगर पहुंचे भी तो गुरुजी ने जो ब्लेसिंग्स देनी है, कब देनी है, इट इज ऑल डिपेंडेंट ऑन गुरुजी. एंड ओवर टाइम he has made me realize it is all a result of our karam and our bhakti and our desire and our love, pure love for him. It all depends on that, because भोलेनाथ we know बहुत ही भोले हैं और बहुत ही जल्दी प्रसन्न हो जाते हैं, but he's also wise enough to know what is inside your heart. He values the purity of your heart. And I think uncle, हम सब जिनको गुरु महाराज के फिजिकल दर्शन मिले हैं, गुरु जी की ब्लेसिंग्स मिली हैं, ये हमारे खजाने हैं. They are the beautiful memories of our life that हम कभी भी, we don't need anything else. I also believe we don't need anyone else. कितना गुरुजी ने हमारे जीवन भर दिया है अपने प्यार से और अपनी सुंदर यादों से. I am talking for myself. It's just, there are no words to thank him enough for that. बहुत शुक्राना महाराज. I'll continue, Uncle ji.
Ji, Aunty.
Thereafter, we started visiting the Empire Estate regularly. In the beginning, one of the Sevadars told us, after taking permission from Guruji, you go straight to your home without talking to anybody else. If you talk to anybody else, your blessings will go to that person. For the rest of the years, we followed this dictum. We just left the Empire Estate and went straight home without talking to anyone. It is now we realize that how Guruji had planned it this way, and we never knew what blessings had been bestowed on other devotees because we could not share or talk to them. Guruji would occasionally speak to the few people he wanted to talk to. The Sangat started multiplying as Guruji used to tell them to bring more Sangat so that he could bless them. Starting from 8 to 10 pairs of shoes that we saw the first day, soon the whole veranda was filled with shoes. Ji, uncle? Do you wish to say something?
Ji, please continue. My video has got. Okay.
Starting from 8 to 10 pairs of shoes that we saw the first day, soon the whole veranda was filled with shoes and chappals, and we had a problem looking for our shoes. This all happened in the first few months of our visit. We noticed that only a few nominated Sevadars served tea and prasad. Langar was a simple prasad of roti, dal, sabzi, and invariably a chutney. Sometimes a chutney made of pure green chilies used to be served. The hall was small, and as the number of devotees started increasing, we started sitting on the stairs leading to the first floor. And later, when the first floor also got crowded, some people had to wait in the veranda outside. In fact, there used to be 3 to 4 rounds of langar. During this time, we saw some very influential personalities coming and touching Guruji's feet. Since we were not allowed to talk to each other and leave for home straight away, we did not know who was on the right or left of us. We remember seeing some important personalities like the chairman of Apollo Tyres and his wife, Arun Shuri, who was a minister in the government, Maneka Gandhi, and a lot of bureaucrats and senior military officers there. In fact, on a few occasions, we saw Field Marshal Manekshaw with his wife come and touch Guruji's feet. On one occasion, Field Marshal Manekshaw sat in front with me during langar, and after the first roti, he said it had a divine taste. Yes, Uncle जी. कितनी सुंदर आपने
Aunty.
यहाँ पे बताया है संगत को कि गुरुजी के लंगर की महिमा, गुरुजी का लंगर ऐसा होना चाहिए और कौन कौन गुरुजी दरबार में इन सारी intelligence so सोसाइटी में पर सबको परमात्मा की ब्लेसिंग्स चाहिए एंड दे वर
First of all, don't speak, and when you're leaving after taking Guruji's today, and then just get into your car and go home straight. Don't speak to anybody, otherwise you're the person who absolutely. I mean, these are like orders. We never spoke to anybody, and it is only except for we do for and to then could hear. Otherwise, if one is sitting in a corner and the other person is speaking from other corner, we could not hear very much. So we really did not know that what kind of blessings Guruji is giving. Had we known that, we would really deciphered that, I mean, we are sitting in front of Shivji Maharaj himself. But this is how he, planned that we really do not come to know who he is or was that particular time. And now I also once, in 2014-15 sometime, went there when they will let the Chota Mandir open, let people come and see. I saw 4 or 5 lines right from the gate of Chota Mandir, waiting in queue to go inside to touch matha tekne ke liye. Now you just imagine that if people had known that Shivji Maharaj is sitting there, or his kind of blessings he is giving, I think the line would have started from Delhi airport as well as Delhi railway station. And God knows so that is how he did not reveal himself. As far as langar is concerned, it was undoubtedly very simple. I remember that sometime its taste was something unimaginable. I think you cannot describe as to how it tasted. It was undoubtedly a divine langar, but very simple. We saw a lot of big people coming. So this basically to say that all the big people came to him and Guruji went to small people himself. So point I was making by saying this was that they were not riffraffs who just come for to get influenced by. I mean, they really saw huge blessings in Guruji's. That's why such people came, whom we used to see. Many more. I mean, there were secretaries, government of India, the air chief that time. There was a South Indian. I recognized him, and so many people. I saw Advani coming one day. It is, I think, 2002, 2001 or something, coming inside. Murli Manohar Joshi was a very learned person. So such people were coming to Guruji to take his blessings, obviously because he was God. He is God himself. Auntie?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल अंकल जी. गुरुजी had revealed himself through his blessings in such a way कि उनको यकीन हो गया कि उनके जो भी काम है यही बनेंगे. एंड द अदर थिंग विच आई फील इज कि जब इस तरह के लोग वहां बैठे होते थे महाराज के दरबार में, जो जो नई संगत आती थी उनका कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ जाता था. दे फेल्ट कि जब ये सब लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं तो यहाँ कोई तो शक्ति है, कोई तो महान शक्ति है, बिकॉज ऐसे लोग इजिली किसी भी बाबा के पास नहीं पहुंच सकते. सो दैट वाज वन ऑफ द थिंग्स. एंड also you said कि anyway that thought गुरुजी महाराज ने निकाल दिया, मेरे दिल में आया था कुछ कहने के लिए. That has gone away. But so that is also Guruji's wish. तो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Within the few days of our visit to Guruji's darbar, we observed some unusual things which we could not comprehend at that time. There was a swaroop of Guruji inside the hall of the Empire Estate, right in front of Guruji's seat, on the right side of the wall. Even today, this swaroop is still at the same place. One day, Guruji said, देखो अमृत गिर रहा है स्वरूप तो, देखो अमृत गिरया है स्वरूप तो, which means कि महाराज कह रहे थे कि मेरे स्वरूप से अमृत गिर रहा है. We got up and touched the swaroop. It was wet inside out and there was a strong fragrance coming from it. Guruji, while sitting on his chair, would often rub the left side of his forehead with the fingers of his right hand, and a very visible Trishul, Shiva's Trishul, in the form of a tattoo would appear. It was very clear, visible, and in fact, I used to eagerly wait to see that Trishul, which Guruji showed many times. Yes, Uncle Ji. इतना सुंदर
Auntie,
ये
this
जो
basically,
दर्शन है,
जी,
ये जो गुरुजी
this
के दर्शन
it is initially, जी, Auntie, this is first week itself. We were just 8-10 people, and Guruji just raised his hand. He said, "Dekho, Amrit gir raha hai." That Swaroop is still there today. In fact, this January I was there and I spoke to Sudha Aunty. She said nothing has been changed, even the chandelier is the same, and the Swaroop is there only. I thought that it has been changed from there. He said no, she said that same place it is there. So we touched that, but as his divine power, we just took it so lightly without, or the second thing, what I used to see, very often, I do not know to how many he used to show this Trishul on the left of his forehead. For example, he would just do like this, and there will be a big Trishul, like he had Om here on the hand, similarly. But we will just see that and, keep waiting. Ab Guruji kab dikhayenge. I must have seen it over a dozen times. So this is his blessings, and as we earlier said that he revealed to us only as much he wanted us to know about him, and not more than. In spite of these things, further you will see further when we read some more instances, Auntie.
Yes, बिल्कुल अंकल जी. that Guruji did reveal himself, but he also made sure that कि हमारी बुद्धि उसके आगे ना जाए, ज्यादा
जी
सोचिया ना करो, he used to say, and that's
जी
what it happened. And also what
जी
I remember now, आपने जैसे previous paragraphs में कहा कि instructions were कि सीधा अपने घर जाना है. मुझे कभी ये किसी ने नहीं कहा, ना गुरुजी ने, बट गुरुजी की जो मर्जी थी हम वही करते थे. संगत only did that. In all these years when I was in Guruji's darbar, I never spoke to anybody. I didn't know anybody. I just knew the regular faces. और जब बाहर कूलर पे हाथ धोने जाते थे, पानी पीने जाते थे, जहां वहां पे जो लोग मिलते थे, सिर्फ आंखों से उनको एक्नॉलेज करते थे एज अ विश. बट बियॉन्ड दैट ना कभी किसी से बात हुई, और सीधा जाना, सीधा अपने घर आना, विदाउट एनीबडी गाइडिंग अस. आई टेक इट सच अ ब्यूटीफुल ब्लेसिंग फ्रॉम गुरुजी कि उन्होंने अपने डिसिप्लिन में शुरू से ही डाल दिया. ये सारे नाम और फेसेस ओनली केम टू नो जब जूम सेशन शुरू हुए. Only then the name was put to those faces. तो कितनी शुक्राना है गुरु महाराज का कि वो जो चाहते हैं वो खुद ही करा लेते हैं. एंड सो आगे चलते हैं.
जी
When Guruji used to come out of his room, I would notice a blue light coming out from the room. Later, I asked Sudha auntie, who lives in the house about this. Sorry. Later, I asked Sudha auntie, who lives in that house, about this blue light. She told me that people saw different colors of light at the same time coming from that room. I was fortunate to speak to Guruji's mother, who used to come to Guruji like any other devotee, take prasad like all the others, and sit in the sangat. Yes, uncle.
जी
I can hear how Maharaj ke liye sabhi, everybody was equal.
जी. Firstly, in the last chapter, you mentioned that you nobody mentioned to you. This was, I think, also his divine intervention, that he knew that perhaps I was one of those who will start chatting outside, you know. So I think now, as far as this light is concerned, I used to look to the right when Guruji came, when this welcome band used to start, and absolutely dark, I mean, dark blue, that you could just see that he's emerging from outside. So I used to wonder that, you know, why this is normally you make the light little inside lighter color, but it used to be very dark. So that is, I was very inquisitive. I spoke to Sudha auntie a couple of years back, and she told me that he showed different colors to different people. That is his will, and God knows what would be the reason for that. And Guruji's mother, when there were few people, Guruji's mother was very graceful, and she would come, bow to him, kneel down to take prasad. And on one such occasion, I, you know, sat next to her and I spoke to her about Guruji. And I don't know whether I've written about this, but I would like to mention. Then she narrated to me, and which it's very long time. This was also almost 98, 99 sometime. So I remembered few things. Like one is that she said that when Guruji was born, te daiyan ne main dasya ki ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘਰ Shivji da janam hoya. Now this is one thing, but you know how you take it. At that time, we thought that you know, everybody thinks that child is like Krishna ka avatar hai, so we took it that lightly. And then second, she said that, which I remembered, that Guruji जब गए थे स्कूल ते जांदे सीगे ते टीचरां ने कंप्लेंट की थी कि पुठी किताब पढ़दे हैं. He doesn't read the book like this, he reads other side. And फिर एक कल, which I remembered out of all others thing that I had chat with her, is that she said that ਇਹ फिर गायब हो गए उत्थों ते हुण सानू पता लग गया कि he is in Delhi. And that is in 1998 sometime. She said ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ we are staying here. So this is Guruji's Mahima, that जी आंटी.
बिल्कुल अंकल जी, ये सारे साइंस गुरुजी इंटेंशनली छोड़ के गए थे. बिकॉज जब when he was present, he didn't allow his sangat to think beyond a certain point. वो नहीं
जी
चाहते थे कि हम ज्यादा सोचें, because
जी
being in his darbar or being with Guruji, I mean, life was so beautiful. मतलब it was वाकई जन्नत और सचखंड था वो. It was only, I mean, there was joy all around, और कुछ सोचने का दिमाग में कुछ आता भी नहीं था.
जी
And the other thing which you said, that how he slowly revealed these things, he left with us. Even ये जितने भी सत्संग संगत शेयर करते हैं, जो ओल्ड संगत जिनको हम कहते हैं, जो गुरु जी के साथ जिन्होंने टाइम स्पेंड किया है, दिस वाज आल्सो आई एम श्योर गुरुजी's प्लान. बिकॉज अपने मुंह से अगर कोई भी चीज कहते, जैसे आप कह रहे हैं, गुरुजी ने कितनी बार कितनी संगत को बताया, तू शिव दे दर्शन कर रहे हैं 1 to 1, या शिव जी अपने आप को रिवील किया. But beyond that, he didn't let them think. So the timing was chosen by him. वो इतना कुछ छोड़ गए, इतनी blessings छोड़ गए. But the time was कि उनके जाने के बाद जो पुरानी संगत है will slowly reveal about गुरुजी. और इसी revelation से नई संगत कैसे जोड़ रही है. So it is all, and कितना शुक्राना करें गुरुजी का कि we are one of those that we are able to narrate to the new Sangat about Guruji's blessings, guide them in certain aspects wherever we can. So इस बात का भी शुक्राना है, और ये भी इस पार्ट ऑफ गुरुजी's प्लान. कब किसने जुड़ना है, जो 70s में जुड़े हैं उनसे भी पहले कई संगत जुड़ चुकी हैं, तो कौन पुरानी कौन नई. बट पुरानी संगत जो मिले हैं गुरुजी को, वो आपको इनफैक्ट बता सकते हैं द ट्रूथ, जो उनके साथ बीता, जो उन्होंने देखा, वो ही बता सकते हैं. इट्स नॉट अ स्टोरी, इट इज हिज ब्लेसिंग्स, हिज ग्रेस. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज द
एब्सोल्युटली
सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ संगत शेयरिंग. और गुरुजी ने ये प्रथा तब शुरू की, इसीलिए शुरू की कि ऐसे ही कोई बिलीव नहीं करता. एंड इवन अबाउट द शबद कीर्तन, how did Guruji differentiate it from other bhajans? He said, ਇਹ ਮੈਂ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਹੈ, ਗੁਰੂਆਂ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਹੈ, ਪੂਰਨ ਗੁਰੂਆਂ ਦੀ ਬਾਣੀ है. सो जब वो बानी गुरुजी ने कहा अपने जीवन में उतारो, वो ही उनकी गाइडेंस है. एंड दैट इज द डिफरेंस गुरबानी हैज एज कंपेयर टू एनी अदर भजन. बिकॉज जो परमात्मा लिख सकता है, कोई इंसान नहीं लिख सकता, उतनी गहराई में नहीं लिख सकता. So, आगे चलते हैं अंकल जी.
जी आंटी
When Guruji used to come out of his room, I would notice a blue light. And uncle, I have already read this. और जब
जी
गुरुजी चोले में थे, I did not get the opportunity to see that light. But महासमाधि के बाद मुझे बड़े मंदिर में जो गुरुजी का स्वरूप बिल्कुल सामने है, through that the blue light from his स्वरूप, it reached my heart. So कब किसको कौन से रूप के दर्शन देने हैं, that is his choice.
जी
आगे
जी
आपने लिखा है, once during winters I went regularly for 7 days to the Empire Estate. Those days Maharaj had sangat on all the 7 days. I had seen Arun Shuri coming in and recognized him. I saw a lady being brought in with the support of 2-3 people inside, and later came to know that she was his wife, that is Arun Shuri's wife.
जी
She was made to sit in front of Guruji. We were sitting a little further away, so what transpired within them was not known to us. But a few days later, I saw the same lady walking in, unassisted, and we heard that she even danced at the Sangat. Despite seeing all this, it did not come to my mind that he was not merely a Mahapurush. He was beyond Mahapurush and beyond our imagination. Yes, Uncle Ji.
जी आंटी Aunty, this is exactly what I was trying to say, was that in spite of these 3-4 events within very short time of our firstly being permitted by Guruji to go there, we saw these such things like the Amrit Sarup tu gir rahega, and with so much of fragrance, we smelled that. We saw that Trishul he made many times. He would do it here. We saw the blue light is coming. Guruji's mother mentioned this particular thing. I mean, like, what else could he say? Now, one has heard a different version also, that somebody said that that Dayane kya hote, there some snakes came. But what I remembered is Guruji, Mataji, uh, absolutely unmistakably, I remember she said, Dayane man kya tode kar Shivji da janam hoya. And those kind of things, uthi kitab padde, or seeing Arun Shori's auntie coming in spite of all this, I mean, we just could not understand that where we were. That is what I was basically.
Guruji wanted to clear all the doubts in Arun Shuri's mind. Guruji कहते सी ना कई संगत लू like Rimple auntie do एक बारी उन्हें क्या इनाते what cut they? What cut they means all the doubts that they have. In that all the doubts that are coming in between their belief in Guruji. So when Arun Shuri came, to what my knowledge, he not only was not convinced about Guruji's powers, he also doubted the existence of God, and he had written an article in the newspaper about it. तो देखिए गुरुजी ने ऐसे इंसान के साथ ऐसे चमत्कार किए, चमत्कार बिकॉज गुरुजी सेड चमत्कार नु ही नमस्कार है. स्पेशली दिल्ली की संगत, ही सेड अपने आप को इतना समझते हैं that they have forgotten about the blessings of Guruji, or rather blessings of God. So he made it a point, he had to prove it to him, apart from the fact that he wanted to bless his wife. So सभी संगत के लिए ये मैसेज गया कि परमात्मा की क्या शक्ति है, और जब परमात्मा को चाहते हैं तो इम्पॉसिबल भी पॉसिबल हो जाता है. And about the dance also, there is a very good message here about dance. पहले जब गुरुजी चोले में थे, बहुत लोग इस बात का मजाक उड़ाते थे कि गुरुजी के दरबार में लेडीज डांस करती हैं और गुरुजी बैठे होते हैं. आई ऑल्सो वॉन्ट टू शेयर कि वो जो डांस होता था वो संगत की ब्लेसिंग थी, फिजिकल ब्लेसिंग्स थी उनके लिए, फॉर देयर अलाइनमेंट ऑफ देयर बॉडी, फॉर देयर फिजिकल प्रॉब्लम्स. एंड ऑल्सो अगर आप वीडियोस पुराने देखेंगे तो गुरुजी कभी भी नहीं देख रहे होते थे कौन गा रहा है या कौन डांस कर रहा है. ही वॉज इन हिज ओन थॉट्स. वो ब्लेस कर रहे हैं, तो वो डांस नहीं चल रहा है, वो एक ब्लेसिंग चल रही है. So, जो संगत के मन में अभी भी कोई डाउट्स हैं, उस बात को अपने दिल से निकालिए कि परमात्मा के ब्लेस करने के बहुत तरीके हैं. और ब्लेस किसको करना है? जो उनके सामने गा रहा है, या जो उनके सामने डांस कर रहा है, या उनके पांव दबा रहा है. Those people need those blessings. It's not that Guruji loves them more, या वो कोई बड़े लोग हैं and वो गुरुजी के ज्यादा नजदीक हैं. No, in their life they need those blessings more. That is my understanding of Guruji. इस प्रकार की जो मेहर गुरुजी करते थे.
Absolutely, auntie. In fact, I will add to this that I saw these people are dancing, or some singers came. Guruji never participated in that. He would be looking down or left, right, blessing. He never participated. I mean, that is what I otherwise, like, so whether Dolly Naranga auntie was singing, or anybody was dancing in front of her, he just, so absolutely, auntie, you're absolutely right that he was blessing those who were.
बिल्कुल.
Yes, auntie.
बिल्कुल. आगे चलते हैं जी. Once my elder brother, who lived in America, visited me in 1999, and I took him to meet Guruji. I told Guruji that he was my elder brother and had come from America. Lieutenant General Garewal was also sitting next to Guruji's chair. Maharaj told General Garewal to tell my brother about him. I recollect that he told my brother that Guruji had no impurities in his body, and even his urine and sweat had a sweet fragrance. This was being said within the hearing distance of Guruji, who occasionally smiled. We still had not understood who Guruji was. On one of his birthdays, on 7th July, a devotee wrote a beautiful poem and described him as having descended from the heavens. He described Guruji as Lord Shiva. We just heard it and let it go. It never occurred to us that we are in the darbar of the Divine Lord Himself. On my first meeting with Guruji, I surreptitiously smelt his charan. I smelt the fragrance of roses over the leather smell. This confused me and made me think that a scent had been sprayed. This is how the suspicion of Guruji being an actual Bhagwan confused me for long. This was all the doing of Guruji himself. He used to say that when you come to me, keep your akal along with the shoes outside. This dictum was not followed by me. We repeatedly went to Guruji because the environment was divine. Shabads were divine, and we all took it as a good gathering. But today I understand that this was how Guruji hid his reality from us, and yet we were attracted towards him repeatedly. Guruji as Bhagwan is unlimited. His powers are unlimited. His blessings are unlimited. The Lord had descended on the earth to assuage the sufferings of the masses. For 9 long years, me and my wife loved to meet Guruji on as many occasions as possible. But our devotion was undoubtedly half-hearted. We could not truly understand who he was. Guruji allowed my wife to tie a Rakhi on Raksha Bandhan day. He stood outside on a Lodi day and distributed prasad. Maharaj took the trouble of taking us to Bada Mandir while it was still under construction. He took me and my wife to an uncle's house. Yes, uncle, यहाँ आपने बताया कि कैसे गुरुजी की blessings फ्रेग्रेंस के रूप में भी आती थी. इस चैप्टर में आपने अलग अलग प्रकार से गुरुजी की ब्लेसिंग्स का वर्णन किया है और आपने गुरुजी की जो फ्रेग्रेंस थी जो महाराज के चरणों से उनके जोड़ों से आती थी उसके बारे में भी बताया है और ये भी बताया है कैसे गुरुजी ने अपने आप को दिखाया जैसे ही इज वन ऑफ अस. और चाहे उनका बर्थडे हो चाहे राखी हो कोई भी फेस्टिवल हो he enjoyed it just like with his संगत एंड उसके साथ साथ ब्लेसिंग्स भी साथ जा रही थी. बट आपने ये भी लिखा कि हम सब आप उनके दरबार में जाते थे, समझ नहीं पाए कौन वहां बैठा है, बट एक जो चुंबकीय आकर्षण था जो गुरुजी का प्यार था ऐसा मैग्नेटिक था that it just took us to his दरबार. एंड जैसे हम जाते थे, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द फीलिंग्स दैट मतलब जल्दी करो, किसी किस्म की डिले नहीं होनी चाहिए. विद दैट जॉय इन द हार्ट वी वेंट एंड व्हेन आई केम बैक मेरे तो सचमुच धरती पे पैर नहीं होते थे. आई वाज इन अ डिफरेंट वर्ल्ड इन द कार व्हेन ऑन द वे बैक. समटाइम्स माय चिल्ड्रन वुड रिमार्क व्हेन वी केम होम, मम्मी आप अपनी शक्ल देखा करो, आपके मुंह पे वो मुस्कान होती है कि जैसे यू आर इन योर ओन वर्ल्ड. आई नेवर रियलाइज्ड इट बट वो उनका असर था, गुरुजी की जो एनर्जी था उसका असर था वो. Yes, uncle. Would you like to say anything?
During pandemic, I was in India, and उस वक्त बहुत सारे सत्संग शुरू हो गए थे जूम के ऊपर, बड़े मंदिर से और अदरवाइज ऑल्सो. तो जब भी कोई सत्संग करता था उसके बाद एक वो पूछते थे, they used to open that window to speak or talk about Guruji to the person who was doing satsang. So very prominent people, like for example, I'll remember some General Grewal himself one day, he did satsang. And this was one Colonel Shastri, uncle, he does a lot of satsangs, he used to do that. And वो संडे को करते थे सुबह, और उसमें मैंने बहुत सारे लोगों को, ढंड अंकल, those who had been very close to Guruji, Shiv uncle. So at the end of it, I asked everybody, and I said कि आपको कब पता लगा कि आप वो भगवान शिव जी himself हैं? And it gave me little, मेरे को वो हुआ कि I was not the only one who, it was everybody out of those people, including General Grewal, whose satsangs you have heard, Dhanda uncle's satsangs you have heard, Shiva uncle's, everybody said that they did not bother. So this is how he had, concealed himself, I would say, for these 9 years, I must have been a couple of 100 times to Guruji. We were in Noida, which was 35 kilometers or something like that from my house. And we used to go, come back quite late, 11, 12, even later we are driving back. Sometime in winter was very foggy, so we'll still drive back. Now we did not know that what was attracting us so far away. Instead of going to a club and playing or chess, this, that, and all that, we were attracted there. So that was the divine attraction was there. And the langar was such this thing. The whole atmosphere was, environment was so beautiful, and the shabads were so meditative that undoubtedly he mentioned that many times he said, "Main likhe." And you see even today, when you listen to the Shabbats of the Guruji, which is at the end, I've been able to compile some of them, you find that you get a different anand as compared to a bhajan, which is written by the human beings.
बिल्कुल अंकल, शब्द तो हमारे दिल में बसे हुए हैं और इनके साथ उस दरबार की यादें हैं. So that is why they give us so much joy, so much joy. आगे बढ़ते हैं अंकल. Today we hear from many Sangat how Guruji treated everyone. आगे बढ़ने से पहले I would also like to tell Sangat that अभी भी करीब 12-13 पेजेस बाकी हैं. So आज का जो सेशन है थोड़ा लंबा हो जाएगा. But uncle and I both are trying our best not to prolong it, but we will definitely not like to skip it because each word, each sentence is important. So आगे बढ़ते हैं. Today we hear from many Sangat how Guruji treated everyone with so much love and affection. He took the Sangat to entertain them, to the movies, India Gate, to hotels and restaurants, to malls. But we today realize that all these places he went to was either to bless that place or the people there. Guruji never watched an entire movie in a theatre. He would sit for a while and then walk away. In a hotel or restaurant, he did not eat anything, just tasted it and gave whatever he was eating to the Sangat. Now we understand that he blessed those places and the people there. So, अंकल आपने इस पैराग्राफ में ये बताया है कि महाराज ने जो कुछ भी किया अपनी संगत के लिए किया. Nothing was done for his pleasure. कुछ भी महाराज के आगे चढ़ाया जाता था. Firstly, he never accepted anything. However, if some संगत would bring anything, चाहे वो मिठाई थी, चाहे फूल थे, या any personal gifts, वो संगत में बांटे जाते थे. एंड इवन जो आपने कहा मूवीज ले जाना, रेस्टोरेंट्स, वो संगत को ब्लेस करने के लिए था. इट वाज नॉट फॉर गुरुजीज एंटरटेनमेंट. कितना सुंदर ये रीइंफोर्समेंट है कि गुरुजीज एंटायर लाइफ, हिज एंटायर एग्जिस्टेंस और उनका हर कार्य अपनी संगत के लिए था. आगे पढ़ती हूँ अंकल. Maharaj used to visit a few Sangats' houses. He did not discriminate between rich and poor. It is said that Maharaj goes to the people who cannot come to him. I would also like to add here not only who cannot come to him, but who don't want to come to him and he wishes to bless them. Because I have personal experiences of that. Sometimes driving down from one city to another, he would stop his car in front of a hut or a small tea shop and bless the people, and this is how he would go to those who could not come to him. जी अंकल, ये बहुत ही पावरफुल पैराग्राफ है कि महाराज ने जिसको ब्लेस करना है वो करेंगे. वो दरबार में आए ना आए, वो गुरुजी पहुंच जाते थे. पहले जब सिर्फ फिजिकल रूप में थे और अब सत्संग के थ्रू या किसी भी प्रकार से आप सत्संग ना भी करें, पर गुरुजी ने अगर आप आना है तो वो आपके घर में आ जाएंगे. आपको फ्रेग्रेंस आएगी, आपको उनका ड्रीम दर्शन होगा, आवाज सुनाई देगी, उनकी गाइडेंस मिल जाती है. So his love and blessings is not entirely dependent on your devotion.
जी.
Yes, uncle. आप क्या कहेंगे?
बिल्कुल, absolutely right. I mean, you must have heard these satsangs that how Guruji one day said that I want to have a cup of tea. So the driver took him to a 5-star hotel. He said, not here. So he drove down, and then he went in front of a hut where the tea shop, small, which was in a small tea shop. And he told driver, go there and get the tea. So that fellow went inside there, and that tea wala had, he opened his that dabba, and there was Guruji's picture inside. So this driver said, who is he? He says, ye mere Guruji, and I had collected a lot of money to go to him. I don't have so much money. So, but it got stolen. So this fellow said, okay, you take the tea and come to the car. And that is where he saw Guruji sitting there. So this is what implies that Guruji go to the person who cannot come to him.
बिल्कुल
जी आंटी,
बिल्कुल
this
उनका
is what.
भाव था पर वो नहीं पहुंच पाए तो गुरुजी पहुंच गए.
जी.
I have two personal experiences, very briefly बताऊंगी. जलंधर में एक बार
जी.
गुरुजी के साथ हम गुरुजी कहीं ले जा रहे थे, कार में थे हमारे साथ, और गुरुजी रुके रास्ते में, और एक वो जूस वाला, जो सड़क पे जूस वाले होते हैं विंटर में, एंड गुरुजी said, जूस पियोगे? We thought Guruji wants to have juice, and we said, हाँ जी गुरुजी. So my husband quickly got out of the car और जूस बनवाया. उसको बोला, जूस वाले ने, यंग लड़का था, जैसे ही अपना सर नीचे करके देखा गाड़ी में कौन बैठे हैं, उसने वहीं से नमस्कार किया. And then he didn't take any money from us, because my husband soon after, हम जब सबने पी लिया तो जल्दी से गए कि क्योंकि गुरुजी ने कहा है, ये ना हो गुरुजी उठ के पैसे दे दे. एक तो ये भी दर्शाता है कि हमारी बुद्धि क्या थी, हम गुरुजी को क्या समझते थे. गुरुजी वाज लाइक, महापुरुष कहते थे महापुरुषानु ए करीदा है या ओ करीदा है, बट ही वाज great enough, kind enough to be like one of us and sit next to us. So my husband thought कि गुरुजी पैसे ना दे दें, तो वो जल्दी से गए पैसे देने, पर उसने पैसे नहीं लिए. तो गुरुजी not only blessed him but also blessed us in some way, we don't know. And on another occasion, my parents-in-law and my also my parents, they hadn't been to him, but गुरुजी महाराज कहते थे ना, परिवार का एक बंदा भी मेरे पास आ जाए, I will bless the whole family. And probably he also knew that at least one family will not come to him, because they did not believe in such idol worship or रोज की भक्ति के routines. Very spiritual, into dhyan, but did not believe in praying in front of any deity or going to any guru. तो गुरुजी अपने आप पहुंच गए, अनअनाउंस्ड, किसी ने नहीं बुलाया, वो अपने आप चल के आ गए. टाइम स्पेंड किया, घंटा चाय पी, मतलब बहुत कुछ बातें करके गए, विच आई विल नॉट इलैबोरेट, बहुत बताया है, बट सच में ये तो मेरे एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं और आपके भी एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं और बहुत संगत के एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं कि जिसको गुरुजी ने ब्लेस करना है, गुरुजी विल नॉट वेट फॉर दैट पर्सन टू कम टू हिम, ही विल जस्ट गो. तो आगे बढ़ते हैं. गुरुजी वुड गो टू सम पीपल्स हाउस sorry, Guruji would go to some people's house unannounced, and that is what I just mentioned. He does not need an invite. वो आपका भाव देखते हैं, उनको पता है आपके दिल में क्या है. In Jalandhar, he would go to some Sangat's house unannounced and even make tea there. We heard that once he even cooked up a dish with different ingredients put in it, and the dish turned out to be the tastiest ever. In Jalandhar, he would serve the Sangat himself. At the Empire Estate, he gave prasad to people himself. On certain occasions, Maharaj distributed prasad to thousands of people with his own hands, from morning till evening. Langar or prasad never fell short in his darbar. Some devotees were allowed to stay on till late night, and he pampered them with more food and prasad. He told someone that they all looked like small creatures, like ants to him. Guruji is not Shiva, he's Mahashiv. Before we go forward, Uncle, I would like to take, and Sangatji, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Guruji Maharaj कि गुरुजी महाराज ने हमें भी बहुत बार इस तरह के लाड लड़ाए, देर तक बिठाया, एक्स्ट्रा प्रसाद, एक्स्ट्रा लंगर अपने पास बैठ के खिलाया. बहुत क्या क्या ब्लेसिंग्स दी, ओनली ही न्यू। हमारे घर आना, सबको ब्लेस करना इन हिज ओन वे। ये मौका मैं दोबारा गुरुजी आपको शुक्राना करना चाहती हूँ इन ब्लेसिंग्स का। आई डोंट नो हाउ मच वी डिजर्व, बट you made us more and more attached to you and to your feet by showering these blessings on us. आगे बढ़ूं अंकल,
Auntie,
or
I'll
would
just
you
like
like
to
to
say
say
one
something?
small word.
Yeah.
I'd like to just say a small word. In Mahabharat, you recall in Mahabharat, there were lakhs of people fighting, and you know, the one of the state, राजा को लॉर्ड भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने ड्यूटी दी थी कि उनका लंगर वगैरह करना. So how Lord Krishna used to tell him ki how many people will be less tomorrow. So that is how the langar never fell short. Similarly, out here, I mean, I have seen from 8 people to 800 to now 8,000, the langar never fell short. So this is the correlation with Mahabharat, Lord Krishna doing, and Guruji here, a similar situation was
And not only
enacted.
that, लंगर खाने कौन कौन आएंगे, गुरुजी knows. एंड जैसे नरेंद्र अंकल को उन्होंने एक बार पूछा कितनी संगत आई सी, एंड नरेंद्र अंकल ने नंबर दिया, गुरुजी ऑलमोस्ट एडेड द सेम नंबर एंड से नहीं इन्हें आई सी. एंड ही ऑल्सो मेड हिम रियलाइज कि अपार्ट फ्रॉम जो ह्यूमन बींग्स वहां बैठे होते हैं, बहुत देवी देवता भी आते हैं. सो कितनी महिमा है इस लंगर की. और जैसा आपने कहा अंकल, कई बार अगर जैसे होस्टेस बैठी है, शी में फील की संगत तो बहुत आ रही है पर प्रसाद कम ना पड़ जाए. यू विल सी दैट सम संगत विल कम और वो कुछ प्रसाद ले आएंगे, गुरुजी के चरणों में रख देते हैं. So the hostess just distributes that along with the prasad. गुरुजी कभी भी लंगर कम नहीं पड़ता, और एक दाना भी उस लंगर का is सचखंड का प्रसाद. I mentioned earlier that my first visit to Guruji was in connection with my son's wedding. My son's wedding took place in March 1999. We met Guruji in August 1998, and from then on, we visited Guruji very regularly for the next 6-7 months. One day, Guruji gave me 4 imartis, which is an Indian sweet, to eat and called me to have 4 more. Having eaten 8 large imartis, I thought eating langar would not be possible, but he made it easy. I didn't know where all these had gone. I could eat a full langar. At that time, my doctor had advised me to be cautious as my blood sugar levels were borderline. I was told to avoid sugar completely. However, Guruji cured me of that problem. And now, over 25 years later, I still have no issues with diabetes. जी अंकल, ये बहुत ही अच्छा सुंदर that is was Guruji's way of blessing. और जो मेरी understanding
Auntie,
है, yes, I would like you to elaborate on it for sure. But what my understanding is,
as you are aware that in army we have, as you are aware in army we have every year yearly medical. So in that medical, the medical officer saw my blood sugar was 107.8. It should be, I think, 104 or something with fasting. So he underlined that and wrote on that book that absolutely no sugar. And in fact, I told him, what should I take instead of sugar? He told me that those, which is in place of what you take, those sweeteners. Sweeteners, yeah. So I said, that's very, it's got no taste. So he got angry with me. My 2 brothers, one lives in Agra. His blood sugar rises sometime to, he's a highly diabetic case, about 400. And then he has to take all kinds of injections and that. Another brother who is no more, his blood is, so that means I had a family background for diabetic this thing. And today, touch wood, I don't hesitate. I don't lavishly eat sugar, very sweet things. but I don't hesitate to take anything which is sweet in moderation, and I have no problem. So
Also,
this is his
uncle,
blessing.
yes, बिल्कुल uncle. And so many times,
जी,
गुरुजी की ऐसी मेहर है कि when we see people our age around us with so many
जी,
restrictions, अपने
जी,
दिल में गुरुजी के लिए शुक्राना निकलता है. Silent
जी,
prayer, गुरुजी आपने कितना काबिल रखा है. You've kept us in
जी,
good health. And sometimes,
जी,
even despite health issues, He has kept us
जी,
well. He keeps us
जी,
capable that we are able to do our things. पर
yeah,
यहाँ पे संगत के लिए एक मैसेज है और आई वुड थिंक कि गुरुजी के दरबार में डॉक्टर की रिस्ट्रिक्शंस आपके साथ जो भी हों, आप वो सब रिस्ट्रिक्शंस अपने लाइफस्टाइल में रखिए बाहर. पर अगर गुरुजी के दरबार में आपको जो भी प्रसाद मिलता है, आप उसको गुरुजी की ब्लेसिंग समझ के ग्रहण करिए. बहुत बार मैं देखती हूँ एंड समटाइम्स आई इवन सी ओल्ड संगत, दे सेंड मैसेजेस इन द किचन कि मारे को ये मत देना, मेरे को वो मत देना, जस्ट गिव मी. दैट मीन्स आप वहां बैठे हैं गुरुजी की ब्लेसिंग्स लेने के लिए, बट क्यों आपके दिल में ये विचार आ रहा है कि ये चीजें मुझे नहीं खानी बिकॉज डॉक्टर ने मना किया है. बट आई पर्सनली फील एंड दैट्स माय व्यू कि गुरुजी ने जो दरबार में आपको दिया है वो इट इज रैप्ड अप इन हिज ब्लेसिंग्स. सो आई
जी,
डोंट थिंक वी शुड डिफरेंशिएट. ऑल्सो कितना आ गया प्लेट में, गुरुजी विल मेक यू केपेबल, आप खा लेंगे.
जी,
But here is
जी,
also, a guidance for the hostess जिनके घर में संगत होती है. प्लीज इतनी भर भर के प्लेटें मत दीजिए. स्पेशली ओल्ड
जी,
संगत जो गुरुजी को के साथ बहुत सालों से जुड़े हैं. नाउ दे आर नॉट दैट यंग, दे आर नॉट एबल टू टेक दैट मच. प्लीज थोड़ा ही डालिए जो संगत बहुत खुशी से खा ले, और दे डोंट नीड टू
जी,
टेक सम ऑफ इट बैक होम. सो इट्स अ मैसेज फॉर एवरीबडी. थोड़ा ही दीजिए, प्लस जितना भी मिल गया, जो महाराज ने अगर ज्यादा दिया, so maybe he wants you to have that. Just take it as his blessings and go back with no doubt. किसी भी डाउट या चिंता के साथ महाराज के दरबार से कभी मत जाइए, खुशी से जाइए.
जी,
आगे चलते हैं.
जी,
One day after Langar Prasad, while taking his permission to leave, we were told by Guruji to go to the Hanuman Mandir and give 5¼ kilos of gur, which is jaggery, which we did. By Guruji's grace, we celebrated our golden wedding anniversary last year. Uncle, I'll combine one or two more paragraphs.
जी, just please.
By the blessings of Guruji Maharaj, my son's wedding in March 1998 took place with great elegance. The venue was heavenly, and it seemed as if God Himself had descended there. Everything went off beautifully. The wedding was held in the lawns of a reputed hotel in Delhi, where a lot of foreigners were staying. Many of them came out to take pictures and videos of the wedding. After the Jaymala and other ceremonies at night, a few young couples departed in a minibus for Noida, where I had arranged for their stay. I too started in my car for my home in Noida. On reaching home, when for almost an hour the bus had not arrived, I got very worried. The young ladies in the bus were all decked up with heavy gold jewelry. The outer ring road in Delhi is not safe at midnight. Also, it wasn't safe even in those days. When they finally arrived, the driver told me that the bus had broken down en route, but they all reached safely. This was undoubtedly possible only by Guruji's grace. On completion of the marriage ceremonies, the photographer covering the wedding told me that he had covered hundreds of weddings earlier but had never seen such a well organized and undisrupted event ever. At that time, we thought that it was our good administrative ability, but now we understand that it was Guruji's divine blessings, that everything went off very well. After the wedding, the children went away to America for their honeymoon. Yes, Uncle Ji.
And जी, auntie, this is that time we did not really. We thought that we had done everything very well, so everything has gone off well. But now we look back, even in that hotel, in the lawn, I mean, the way there was such a beautiful, I mean, scene was enacted by Guruji Maharaj himself. And as I mentioned that, you know, I was from army, so I had two bands, one for army headquarters, another one from another battalion playing. So it was such a beautiful uh, scene was there. The photographer, after the marriage, after the our function, he came to me and he said, "Sab, I have covered only over 400-500 weddings, and I have never seen such a beautiful, everything has went off well. There has been no scruffle, no, you know, trouble at all." And especially he said in Punjabi weddings, because of, you know, the liquor being a culprit. So we thought that time that we had organized very well, but now we know that it is all his blessings that everything went off so well. Auntie?
बिल्कुल अंकल जी, मेरा भी सौभाग्य है that Guruji was physically there to bless my daughter's wedding. In fact, मुंह से बोला था उन्होंने, bless करके दोनों बच्चों को, मैं तेरी कुड़ी दा कल्याण करता है. And my son's wedding was after Guruji had taken Mahasamadhi, but nothing happens without taking Guruji's blessings. Guruji ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੈ. We just need your blessings. And honestly, uncle, जो आपकी feelings थी, even when I was, you know, witnessing the events at my daughter's wedding and my son's wedding, the thought in my mind was, ये हमारी करनी नहीं है. How did this happen? कैसे ये fairy tale wedding हो रही है? It is all his blessings.
Absolutely.
It's all his blessings. As a young boy, my son saw the glitter of that country and called me up from there to say that many Indians come here and don't go back. I told him that he must return to India as Guruji had planned something better for him. He returned, and truly, Guruji had planned a better life for him. He now lives in America and is an American citizen, happily married with 2 children, and with Guruji's blessings, they are all doing well. My son was earlier working in Dubai. We wanted him to come back to India and stay with us. We wanted him to get a better job here in India. So one day in the year 1999, I went to Guruji and requested him to fulfill this desire of ours. Guruji heard us out, but did not say anything. A few days went by and I thought Guruji had forgotten about my request. But he had his plans. As I mentioned earlier, in those days, the Sangat was limited. As Guruji started revealing more and more of himself, the Sangat kept increasing to seek his blessings. The environment in Guruji's mandir used to be very serene and divine, charged with energy. On certain occasions, Maharaj would ask a certain Sangat to come up and dance. He would invite them to sing too. These people were generally good singers like Aunty Dolly Narang or Aunty Dolly Guleria and many more. The environment used to be full of energy, relaxed, enjoyable, and memorable indeed. Some renowned folk singers were also invited. During all these occasions, Guruji would be serious, quiet, and not participate in what was happening around. New Year's Day, Baisakhi, Guruji's birthday, and Shivratri were celebrated at the Bada Mandir. During these functions, thousands of devotees would come and take Guruji's blessings. Guruji wanted everyone to be happy, joyful, and well-dressed always, as he himself was. He would bless everyone who came up to him. Some people felt that Maharaj even blessed individuals of doubtful integrity or cheats. Guruji once said, "Meri blessings sabko barabar." Once in the month of January, to be precise, 10th January 2000, my son and his wife were coming on a short leave to Delhi from Dubai. We thought of making a quick trip to USA and with this in mind, I went to meet Guruji at the Empire Estate. I had filled 4 visa forms and took these with me to Guruji. After I bowed and touched Guruji's feet, I showed him all the 4 visa forms. He held these forms in his hand. I told Guruji we were going to the American embassy the next day for getting a visa. Guruji glanced at the forms for a second and returned them to me and said, जा तेरा कल्याण कर देता. After langar at about 10 p.m., we took Guruji's permission and proceeded straight to the airport to pick up our children who were to arrive from Dubai at about 11 p.m. Early morning the next day, we proceeded to the American Embassy in Delhi. The procedure at the American Embassy was that after completing all the formalities of verifying your appointment time and having your visa form and passport checked at the outer gate, you could go inside the embassy premises. Accordingly, we went inside the American Embassy Hall. In those days, there used to be a senior counselor sitting in the middle of the hall, and people would queue up to show their papers to him. He would then direct individuals to various windows for different types of visas like H1, B1, B2, L1, etc. When our turn came, I was standing first in the line, followed by my wife, son, and daughter-in-law. So I gave the 4 passports and forms to the senior counselor there. He looked at the first form, which was mine, and repeated my name to ensure it was correct. Then he asked if the lady behind me was my girlfriend. I told him she was my wife. Next, he said, "How would you like it if I gave you a 10-year visa?" It was such a great surprise. I asked, "To all 4 of us?" He confirmed that. I told the senior counselor that I would really appreciate that. Then he told all 4 of us to go to window number 1, which was meant for 10-year visas. We had just applied for a tourist visa, which is generally for a 6 months duration. A visa for 10 years was like a green card to the USA. My wife immediately said that Guruji himself was sitting in the counselor's chair, or else he had controlled the mind of the counselor, who was doing exactly what Guruji directed him to do. We had heard Guruji telling some people who bowed down to touch Guruji's feet for the first time, "Is that one in the rear your girlfriend?" We had also heard Guruji blessing a devotee for his legal case, and when he appeared in the court, the judge would say the case was dismissed. "Ja aish kar," the judge would say. Or a person who had undergone an operation in the hospital and whom Guruji had blessed earlier might hear the doctor, whether South Indian or Bengali, say, "Tera kalyan ho gaya," upon the successful completion of the operation. Thus, Guruji would leave a telltale sign so that devotees understand that it was not a coincidence. So we obtained the 10 years visa for all 4 of us and returned home. That evening, the satsang was at an uncle's place in Lodi Road, Delhi, and we decided to go there to thank Guruji. We did not know the way to the Sangat's house, but my wife smelt a fragrance at each turn of the road, and we reached Guruji's darbar at that uncle's house. I straightaway went to Guruji, and after touching his feet, I started narrating the episode about the visa, and Guruji said, "Mainu pata hai, ja beja." He knew about it because he was the one who did it. These are very small things for Guruji. Guruji often said that people ask for very small things, but nobody asked him for the big things, the real thing. जी अंकल, आपने इन
जी
सब
आंटी
पैराग्राफ्स में आपने बताया है कि कैसे गुरुजी planned the life of your son, कहाँ उन्होंने काम करना है, कहाँ रहना है, and how he made it possible for you and your children to go to USA not once but many times, because जैसे गुरुजी ने आपको आपने लिखा 10 साल का वीजा बिना मांगे दे दिया. जैसे गुरुजी कहते थे, आप तो छोटी चीज मांगते हो, आपको क्या पता मैं क्या देने के लिए बैठा हूं. कितना सुंदर ये यहाँ पे एक्सप्लेनेशन है इस ब्लेसिंग का. जी अंकल, आप बताएं.
जी, this is what exactly I will be explaining in the next paragraph when you do.
Shall
But
I read
before
that
that,
first? Shall I read the next paragraph?
oh, okay.
Okay. Once a friend of mine who was Guruji's devotee in Jalandhar and now living in Meerut came to Delhi and met me. So both of us went to Guruji's darbar. Obviously, Guruji knew him as his old devotee. So when he touched Guruji's feet, Maharaj told him that "Sab mari cheeza mangde han." कोई असली चीज नहीं मांगता. After the darbar and langar etc., when we came out, that friend of mine told me that I should ask for Guruji's naam. Therefore, the next day when I went to Guruji, I bowed down and told him, Guruji, naam de do. I really did not know what naam meant or the use of naam and its importance. I was ignorant. Guruji knew this. Guruji words that sounded in my ear were, Hune nahi. But my auntie told me that she heard Guruji saying, Chopai Saab da Paat Karya Kar, which I do to this day. Should I read little further, uncle?
Ji, auntie.
Thereafter, my children did not return to Dubai. They stayed on with us in Noida. For one day, my son told Guruji that he had no job. Guruji told him to go to Darbar Sahib and come back. My son went there. He did car seva, which was blessed by Guruji himself, and he returned. Within a few days, he got a call from a telecom company asking him to come for an interview, where he was later employed. He then shifted to a bigger company and stayed there till 2004 before he moved to the USA. It was a very enjoyable and memorable time for us when the children were staying with us. Our children used to stay on the first floor of my house. By Guruji's grace, we were soon blessed with a grandson. When our grandson was about 2.5 or 3 years old, I took him to Guruji's mandir. After bowing down to take permission to leave, and as we were getting up to come out of the hall, our grandson loudly said, "Ab Guruji clouds mein chale jayenge kya?" I'm sure Guruji heard it. For all these years, we regularly used to go to Guruji's darbar with the children. I had noticed Guruji giving a very noticeable broad smile when my daughter-in-law touched his feet. I immediately understood that it was because Guruji had blessed her wedding. Guruji used to attend a few weddings himself. He used to give selected devotees the wedding card for them to also attend. But the marriages which were on the behest of Guruji, he invariably attended them. During the wedding ceremony, Guruji would sit in a separate place prepared for him, and he would be blessing hundreds of people. Some devotees who were fond of liquor would be told by Guruji during marriage ceremonies to go to the bar and have their drink. Where can you find such a loving Guru, benevolent like God himself? God always wants each person to be happy. Have faith in him, and he will do the best for each one of us. My son got a job in a telecom company in Delhi. He worked there while staying with us in our house. This was a golden period in our life, with the children staying with us. We used to visit Guruji together. Sometimes in June 2004, my son got a job offer from a company in the USA. I went and told Guruji about it. Guruji said, "Jaan de, let him go." So in 2004, my son left for the USA. He was followed by my daughter-in-law and grandson after a few days. Initially, my son was working in Los Angeles. Sometimes in July, August, my wife also traveled to the USA to join them there. One day, Guruji gave me a handful of his small swarups with a clip which one could hang on the pocket. He said, "Inanu kar vich rakhya kar." My wife carried a few of these swarups with her to America. As Guruji had told me to put these swarups in the car, so my wife put one in my son's car in Los Angeles. Uncle, with
Ji,
this I
auntie.
come to the end of today's reading session. But
जी,
in the
जी,
last few paragraphs, आपने बताया है कि कैसे गुरुजी ने आपको और आपके बच्चों को, चिल्ड्रन, ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन, कितने साल दिए इकट्ठे रहने के लिए. That was Guruji's blessings. And together you
absolutely.
went to his darbar and enjoyed his grace. पर जब गुरुजी को लगा कि बेटे का फ्यूचर अब यूएस में है, then Guruji told him कि रोकना नहीं, जान दे उन्हें.
जी.
And
To many, he used to say, "नहीं जाना है, नहीं जाना." You must have heard so many satsang.
yes, जी
He
जी
will say, "नहीं, कोई लोड़ नहीं, जान दे, उत्थे ना भेज." Or he send him
जी
to Australia. In
जी
our case, I mean, these things, any words said by Guruji was so prominent in our memory, is so prominent in our memory that we will never forget these. Like for example, touching his feet, telling him second time कि गुरुजी ये कम नहीं होया, which I did covered in the last reading. Guruji said Mahapurushah nu dobara nahi kende. So, like this word is so prominent, or like Mataji. So we always remember this. Now, as far as I remember, we were so novice. I mean, to give Guruji, I just went with the four hams and put it in his hand. I mean, just imagine how ridiculous it was to give in God's hand this paper, and then telling him, Guruji, asi embassy ja rahe hain, visa vaste, to bless that and all that. And Guruji said, ja tera kalyan kita. And I will never forget that American who was sitting on the chair, and he looked at me and he smiled, and he told my wife at the back, she says, that your girlfriend at the back, he smiled. Now, I very vividly remembered that before that, that means between 1998, 99 or 2000 sometime, I had heard this not once, more than once, Guruji telling somebody, "Ye teri girlfriend hai." And then that time I had also heard that Guruji, they were talking like that when I heard somebody talking, saying that Guruji used to be sitting in the judge's chair. When the verdict is being given, that's why he'll say, Jai Ashkar. He's dismissed the case. Or they will say that Guruji was there doing the operation. This kind of thing that used to be in air. But what I personally felt that time, actually, as he said that their girlfriend and you given 10 years visa. So my auntie was sitting, both of us, as we were about a yard away. He said, I think Guruji himself is sitting there. So I told her, no, he doesn't. He's an American. He doesn't. So it struck to me that Guruji had controlled his mind, and he was doing what Guruji wanted him to do. So this is what I felt that time. So this is how we went. Everybody was surprised that, in fact, my brother-in-law went to stay. He stays in Defense Colony. He went to, again, he had a similar condition like mine. His son was done engineering. He had a daughter. So they all family went and they chased him out. They said, no, let him, get a job in USA or something. They didn't give him the way I got this. So this all is his blessing, though they were very, very small things, but we did not know actually.
They are not small things. और जैसे गुरुजी कहते थे, nothing is a coincidence. आपने जो गुरुजी के दरबार में सुना, एम्बेसी जाने से पहले, कुछ समय पहले सुना था that गुरुजी ने किसी को जो बोला है तेरे पीछे जेडी तेरी गर्लफ्रेंड हैगी. It was meant for you to tell you कि जब आप एम्बेसी में थे, गुरुजी आपको समझाने के लिए ये कौन बैठा है कुर्सी पर.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So it's not a coincidence. Those words came back to your wife and then to you कि ये गुरुजी बैठे हैं, गुरुजी कह रहे, और ये words had nothing to do with the visa, but it was only to tell you कि मैं बैठे हूँ, मेरी blessing से ये आपको मिल रहा है. एंड आपने जैसे कहा अंकल, जो कि महापुरुषां नु एक बारी कहीदा है, ये महाराज ने मुझे भी कहा था. इट वाज अ फिजिकल एलिमेंट. एंड एक बार दरबार में बैठे हुए आई वाज अनकंफर्टेबल, और मैंने सिर्फ गुरुजी के पास, और गुरुजी के पास अब तभी बोल सकते हैं जब गुरुजी चाहते हैं. माइंड में कितना भी कुछ हो, वर्ड्स तभी निकलेंगे when he wants you to speak, because through that he is going to convey a message. And I had just said, मैं क्या गुरुजी हाले भी ठीक नहीं होया. तो गुरुजी कहंदे महापुरुषां नु एक बारी कहीदा है, बार बार नहीं कहीदा. So even for me, these are etched in gold in my heart. I not only tell this to the Sangat, I also remind myself कि जब हमारा टाइम चल रहा है, चाहे वो फिजिकल एलिमेंट है या कोई अदर सिचुएशंस इन लाइफ, डोंट वरी. आपने गुरुजी के आगे अरदास लगा दी, गुरुजी को आपने बता दिया ना, गुरुजी भूलते नहीं है. कब आपकी चीज होनी है, हैव द फेथ दैट ही नोज एंड इट विल बी डन. सो दिस इज व्हाई जो गुरुजी के वचन है, उनकी ये क्यों ये सिग्निफिकेंस है, एंड व्हाई आर दे कॉल्ड द गोल्डन, गुरुजी के गोल्डन वचन. बिकॉज
जी
उनका वेट इज इन गोल्ड. हर
जी
शब्द, हर वचन का वेट इज इन गोल्ड. वी मस्ट
जी
इम्बाइब दैट इन आवर लाइफ टू
एब्सोल्युटली
बी गुरुजी संगत की. गुरुजी को कैसे खुश करें? जस्ट डू व्हाट ही वांट्स यू टू डू. बी द
जी
संगत दैट ही वांट्स अस टू बिकम.
जी
सो अंकल, बहुत ही सुंदर आज का मुझे ये मौका गुरुजी ने दिया कि मैं आपके साथ बैठ के, आपने ये गुरुजी महाराज की सुंदर किताब लिखी है और आपके साथ बैठ के मैंने ये इसमें से पढ़ा. आपने हमें और उसमें थोड़ी एक्सप्लेनेशंस दी. हम सबको जो सुनने वाले हैं सभी को मिलकर गुरुजी ने बहुत बहुत सुंदर ब्लेसिंग्स दी और बहुत सुंदर मैसेजेस मिले. सो मेरी
Auntie,
तरफ से
you
बहुत शुक्राना.
Auntie, you read it so beautifully well, and your own experiences also added with that. And I think, of course, it's all Guruji's blessings that he
जी
wanted it to be like that. It's been absolutely beautiful. And बहुत बहुत शुक्राना गुरुजी का,
जी.
शुक्राना वासन अंकल का, एंड शुक्राना तनुज कपूर आंटी का. जय गुरुजी.
शुक्राना महाराज का. जय गुरुजी. Suresh Vasan uncle, over to you with many many thanks. And आज तो सुबह से ही actually I'm little overwhelmed because being Mother's Day, गुरुजी का प्यार उमड़ रहा है अंदर से, because वो तो not only mother father सब कुछ हैं. और not and कल महाराज ने जो कृपा की, the decision by the government for ceasefire, कि you know there is no end to negativity. We
जी
need to decide, and Guruji gave the good thoughts to the government कि पीछे हट जाओ. He will take care of the negativity. जो भी कुछ negative है, महाराज will take care. He guided the government to step back. So उस बात का भी बहुत बहुत शुक्राना. जी
एब्सोल्युटली.
सुरेश अंकल, over to you.
जय गुरुजी महाराज. बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुली आपने इतना बड़ा कंटेंट शॉर्टेस्ट टाइम में पढ़ा विद योर ओन एडेड एक्सपीरियंसेस, ब्लेसिंग्स. महाराज की कृपा थी, इसीलिए ये सब इतने ज्यादा पेजेस हम लोग पढ़ पाए. अदरवाइज मैं सुबह सोच रहा था कि वी कैन आल्सो डिवाइड इन 2 सेशंस, लेकिन गुरु महाराज की शुरू से ही मेरे को आज्ञा थी कि सेशन एक ही बनेगा. तो उस मतलब ये जो सेशन है, आई थिंक दिस इज द लॉन्गेस्ट सेशन अमंग ऑल द सेशंस. तो बहुत ही कृपा थी, बहुत ही आपने ब्यूटीफुली पढ़ा, अच्छा पढ़ा, अच्छे से मैसेजेस दिए. थैंक्स अ लॉट जसपाल अंकल.
जय आंटी.
Uncle, uncle Suresh uncle, today was like a satsang. गुरुजी के दरबार में 2 घंटे का सत्संग जो होता था, आज this reading session itself was a दरबार का सेशन. उसके पहले तो शब्द कीर्तन हुए, बट आज गुरुजी ने जो सभा लगाई वो was like another session in his दरबार. शुक्राना महाराज.
शुक्राना.
गुरु महाराज की कृपा आप सब पे बनी रहे. और जसपाल अंकल, थैंक्स अ लॉट. आप इतनी रात वहाँ हो गई है, मेरे 2 बजने वाले होंगे रात के. माँ 1 तो बजने वाला होगा रात का. तो
12:15, नॉट मच.
एनीवेज, मतलब फिर भी बड़ी हिम्मत है आपकी, आपने समय दिया. थैंक्स अ
जी
लॉट. गुरु महाराज की कृपा हम सब पे बनी रहे. नेक्स्ट संडे हम लोग फिर मिलेंगे गुरु महाराज की कृपा
जी
से.
जी.